Hello there, and welcome to the first video on the King and Quinn Adventures channel. I'm Adam,
And I'm Lindsay.
and we wanted to bring you to the ports that we stopped at on our 7-day Caribbean cruise on the Carnival Mardi Gras.
First, we stopped at Nassau. Then our second stop was at Amber Cove. And our final stop was in the Grand Turk. So as we're walking down through here, we'll go over a couple of things. First of all, how we got down to exit the ship. And then we'll go through the port.
So to exit the ship, Lindsay and I were on the 8th floor. Justin and Jenna Lee were on the 4th floor. We actually met up on the 3rd floor. That's where the gangways are located, and got off the ship. And then you can see they had a nice covered area here where you could walk under and stay out of the rain. We were actually at the back of the ship when we exited. I think we goofed up a little bit there, but we had a little bit longer walk. So when we're walking down through here, the Mardi Gras is actually on the left. There was another Carnival ship in port on the right. I think it was the Glory, maybe. That name probably is on that ship somewhere too, so I may be wrong. But it was a rainy day. You can see Lindsay is fighting her poncho in the rain occasionally, especially when we got off of the ship.
Yes, it was extremely windy and rainy.
So we went on the trip with our best friends, Justin and Jenna Lee, and their kids. Also, there's a sick tugboat on the right that Justin and I were talking about. So, but as we're walking down through here, there's different advertisements of trips that you can take.
Excursions.
Yeah,
that
excursions.
You can go on that you don't necessarily have to book through Carnival. You can book it through the places that are advertised on here. They try to get you to take different trips.
They had a sign for Atlantis and the water park there.
Just actually right to the left, and we'll show you that on the way back through. I think is when we caught Atlantis.
Yeah, we'll see it in a bit. I would have loved to go to Atlantis and been in the water park, but I didn't want to be poor for the rest of my life. So as we start to come into port here, we'll call out some interesting things that we saw as we kind of walked through, and we actually went out into the city too. But we're not going to narrate the whole video for you. That would be boring. So we'll let the music play, and then we'll call out things as we walk through.
So all these little colorful buildings that you see here are different shops that are in the port. As we're walking down through here, there's a bunch located on the both left and the right. They all kind of have the same things. They all have shirts, ornaments, seashells, just different things. But they all try to get you to come in and buy things as we're walking down through here.
Yeah, and I think coming up on the right, if I'm remembering correctly. I think it's a hair braiding
Yes.
location. Yeah, there it is. Hair braiding pavilion. I am bald, so obviously was not in need of their services, but they had plenty of customers in there.
Right through here, there's some benches and things where you can sit down, and there are a few restaurants down through here. And this place had Wi-Fi that you could actually get on. There were several people sitting around in these areas calling family and things. We actually sat down on the way back through and made some phone calls as well, because that was one of the spots that had free Wi-Fi.
As we round the corner here to the left, this is actually where the cordoned off area of the port ends and where you get out into the city of Nassau proper. Once we got past this fence, this was really the first time that we had gotten to be so close to the beautiful turquoise blue water. There were some folks here on the right that I think were looking for shells or looking for fish. The water was very clear where you could see to the bottom. In fact, one of the kiddos thought they saw a conch shell and they wanted to dive in after it and see if they could get it, but we decided against that. I also just want to point out, look how big those ships are from this far away. It's amazing to me still that those things can float. As we're walking down through here on the left-hand side, there was a house that I saw that I thought was used in the filming of Casino Royale. And once we got back home, I looked it up and completely wrong. That was not even close to where they filmed that movie. So that's why we stopped.
This building here to the right, it was called the British Colonial, and we had looked that up before we left for something to do while we were in Nassau. Jenny and Justin had previously been to Nassau on their honeymoon cruise, so they had seen a lot of this already and were just looking for something to do other than walk. But whenever we went into the hotel, it was going to be a little bit more expensive than we thought originally, and it was rainy and windy, and it wasn't actually too awful warm, so we didn't want to spend that much money to be at the hotel whenever the weather wasn't very cooperative.
as we're walking, we came to this area called the Point, and we lost Justin immediately. You can see him right off. There was a Ford Bronco over to the right that he had to go visit, and he was very excited to see that in the Bahamas and was trying to plot how he could get that back to the state somehow.
Ending at this little path here was Junkanoo Beach, and over to the left is Margaritaville. The sign was a little bit back there. I'm sure you saw that. And they had some chairs, some day beds, some different water activities that you could do here. You could get into the water for free, but you could not sit at the chairs or any of the beds or anything unless you paid a fee. So you could do that if you so chose to do. And we did not walk any further, but there is quite a few more chairs all the way down to the other end down there.
If you've never been on a cruise before, whenever you go back to the ship, they make you present your cruise card and some form of identification so that they can prove that you belong on the ship. They scan what you have and then they let you go.
If you take a quick look over here to the right, that is Atlantis over there, quite a little bit of ways off in the distance. So here we are on port day 2. This was Amber Cove, as you saw. This day was so unbearably hot. We got off the ship and it was just instantly so uncomfortable outside. We were trying to debate on those little carts that you saw. On the way back, we saw a sign that said they were actually free to use. Of course, they require you to tip the drivers, but they're actually, I don't know if they were employed through Carnival or not, but they are free. So please, if you go, you are able to use those carts and they will take you down this insanely long dock to get to Amber Cove. As you end on the dock here, you will go through this shop and there's different things in here that you can buy, of course, souvenirs, and you can buy drinks and all kinds of things. I was looking at the magnets. And once you get out of the store, there are several more in this little area that you can visit. And then over to the right here, well, kind of straight ahead, all these booths here are different excursions that you can take. Like I said, they at every port they do this where they'll try to get you to buy an excursion. We had actually gotten off the boat a little bit late. Jenny and Justin were way ahead of us, and we actually had lost them. And of course, when you're out in the middle of the ocean and you can't use your phone, it's a little bit challenging to get a hold of people. So we were trying to find them.
Lost his last year's Easter eggs.
Yeah, but coming up to here, this is a restaurant, and behind it is actually the pool, which we were at for quite a little bit until it just got way too hot outside, because it actually was great weather this day other than it being unbearably hot. And all of these chairs that you see are free to use. You just have to be able to get off the boat and choose a chair. And they go way back in through here. Right in front of us, you can see this building right here that has open air. That is actually a zip line that goes across the island. And you can go up on, I think they take you up on a bicycle actually. And you go up there and you zip line down and you end at that building. And then right over here in this building were some restrooms that you could use. They were for public use.
Once you reach the end of the walkway, they had this area where you could see the water and the surrounding area, and then those cabanas that are floating right there in front of us. We'll actually walk down towards those, because on this walkway they had a restaurant and bar that you could get to. Lindsay and I grabbed a bite there, and you can get a better look at those cabanas too here on the left that you can actually rent if you want to get away from the crowd a little bit and have kind of a more private spot to spend your day. To the left here, as we were walking back towards the pool area, now they had this secluded area with pergolas that you could rent, and had a cool photo opportunity with a huge beach chair too. Just a really beautiful port at Amber Cove. We really had fun and enjoyed ourselves.
Down through here at the end, there's an Amber Cove sign that was very popular. People were stopped to take a photo. The line was extremely long. We actually did wait there, and we all got photos at the Amber Cove sign, so that's something neat that you can do.
Welcome to Port Day 3 at Grand Turk. I think this was Lindsay and I's favorite port. It was absolutely gorgeous weather, gorgeous water, had a fantastic beach with great views of the ships that you came in on, plenty to do, plenty of restaurants, bars. It was just a great time for us, and we spent most of the time, honestly, at the beach. That was pretty much our day, just soaking up the sun and getting in the water.
We actually found out that these chairs here are free to use. They just expect you to tip them when they set them out for you. But again, we did not see the sign until we were leaving. They do not put it very conspicuously, so lucky for you, we've already found that out. To the right here, where all these people are, this is actually in Margaritaville, and we did go there after we got out of the beach. We do not show that, but that was literally our favorite, probably our favorite thing that we did on the ports. They have a huge pool, a bar area, food. They had a wave rider there where you could surf, and it was just really neat. It was all included. You did have to pay for the wave rider. You could do that before, or I think you could do it once you got there, but it was an extra charge, as were the food and the drinks. They were not included, but the pool area was.
As we start to walk out on the beach here, I freeze framed it just so you could see the view that you get of the beach, the water, the ships that you came in on. The Mardi Gras is actually the far ship here. Just an absolutely beautiful port, and definitely want to go back as soon as we can to Grand Turk. One thing to note too, if you're going to get out in the water, the beach is very rocky when you actually get out in the water, so bring some swim shoes.
Also, bring a snorkel with you if you have one. We were actually able to go out almost to the ships and snorkel, and there's some different things out there, like a cannon was underneath the water and several different types of fish that we got to see, and it was just really neat to be able to be out there so close to the shore actually, and it just kind of drops off and you're able to see different things out there. So definitely water shoes and a snorkel whenever you go to the Grand Turk.
That brings an end to our Port Day video. Hope you all have enjoyed watching. In our next video, we'll actually take you aboard the Mardi Gras and walk you through deck by deck on the ship so you can see that. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.